I know this timing. I know this timing can get a little tricky around 7 o'clock, so we'll give them a little bit of grace to let them join in late. So thank you for all of you joining. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to have my screen so I can still see your faces for those of you that are on camera, and then even when you do come on camera so I can see you. Reminder, just mute yourself throughout. Obviously, we have a lot of distractions in the background in the evening times, and that's totally fine. If you want to talk, as just a reminder, this is a small group, so feel free to unmute and ask questions at any point, and add things into the chat if you'd like as well. I'm pretty sure all of you know that. You're all comfortable unmuting yourselves and know that this is a safe space to do so. So feel free. So to kick us off, we're just going to do introductions. We added a little question in here to spice it up a little bit. Normally we just do successes and accomplishments, but we're going to do a little question as well. So if you can share your name, where you're located, something you're looking forward to this spring or summer, and then add in any successes or accomplishments for you, your family, or your community. And I'm going to go down the list. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'll pull it up here. So first up on my list is Nikki.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nikki Helgeson. I'll have to turn my video on. Can you guys see me okay? Okay. My name is Nikki Helgeson. I am located in South Hill in Puyallup. And something I'm looking forward to this summer, actually, my oldest is graduating from high school. So that's really exciting. Any successes and accomplishments? I would say I'm just about done with my master's program, so I'm really proud of that. It's been a long, difficult, tedious journey. So yeah, thank you.
That's exciting, all of it. A lot of big accomplishments. Okay, the next I have is Charisse.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charisse Rhodes. I'm calling in from Tacoma, Washington. And I don't know, like, I turned on the thing and then I see Joy and I'm like, wait a minute. This is the wrong space. But I guess an accomplishment is, I don't know, being able to get these opportunities to really be actively engaged in community and like the opportunities to bring other community members along the way with me. I feel like that's like the greatest accomplishment because I feel like I appreciate my spaces that I'm in, but the work is so much bigger than me. And just if I can take a step back in order to allow other people to come in, like that's what I feel like I want to do. And then what am I looking forward to in the summer is my kids are leaving to go with their aunt over the summer. And I've never had both of my kids gone together before. So like I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also kind of nervous a little bit. Yeah, but I know that they'll be in good hands and they'll have a good time. So
You're just gonna have to make plans for yourself.
and a dog. So like, you know, I'll probably be knitting clothing or scarves for a Yorkie, I guess. I don't know.
You're gonna have to share those clothes with us the next meeting we have. All right, Lupe.
Okay, hold on. I'm here. And excuse the screaming child if you can hear him in the background, because we are just getting back from football practice. So my name is Lupe Mendoza. I am in Walla Walla, Washington. So I'm probably one of the only ones, except Alina, that is on the of the mountains. What I'm looking forward to this spring is just relaxing. And okay, this sounds so horrible as a parent, but I am excited. Okay, he's not here. For my kids to finally go with their dad, because COVID has thrown a loop in like our parenting schedule. And they really haven't gone. So I really haven't had a break. And I am just excited for actually spring break and summer so they can be gone and I can just like veg and not do anything and not have any responsibilities. And let's see, I will share with you ladies because you don't live close by. So I know you guys won't share with anybody close to me. So one of my accomplishments right now that I'm super excited is I will be starting spring quarter next Wednesday. And I'm a bit nervous because it's been like 7 years since I've gone to school. So for me, it's a huge, huge step and accomplishment.
Congratulations. Let's see. All right. Sorry, scrolling. Laura.
Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Let's see here. I'm not going to turn my video on because I'm in the middle of my laundry mountain. But I am Laura. I'm in Snoqualmie. So I'm just on the other side of the mountains towards Seattle. I am excited to see the sunshine again. Hopefully sometime this spring or summer. And I guess community accomplishment or family accomplishment is we just registered our daughter for kindergarten next year, which is scary. She's moving out of the special ed preschool and trying to do the regular kindergarten class. So we'll see how this goes.
Oh, love that. Lupe loves that. Joy loves that. Thanks, Laura. Whitney.
Hi, Whitney Store. I'm in Linwood, Washington, just a bit north of Seattle. Something I am looking forward to this summer, family camping trips. We're excited. Hoping for a summer of fun. And accomplishment. Oh, I'm going to be part of a workshop at the Infant and Early Childhood Conference put on by DCYF and all of those groups. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be on the transition between birth to 3 and early intervention and developmental preschool and what comes next. So very excited for that. And that's in May. So that's my accomplishment.
Big accomplishments. Congratulations. Thanks, Whitney. Chelsea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea Thompson, and I am located in Olympia, Washington. And something I'm really looking forward to this spring is my little cousin is getting married. So I can't wait to go to Idaho for that. And then something exciting for my family. We recently found out I'm pregnant. I'm due in August. But we found out we're having a baby girl. So super exciting.
Yay. Thanks, Chelsea. Alina.
I've been sitting here timing my bike on me.
I usually always
So
on you at the wrong time, so sorry.
you do. There's either a child screaming or I just took a bite because this always ends up being kind of at our dinner time. So yeah. My name, Alina Swart. I am located in Clarkson, Washington. So I'm right against the Idaho border and almost on the Oregon border. Something I'm looking forward to in spring, summer. We are supposed to go camping in Oregon in July. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I, for one, love camping. Successes and accomplishments. I did not kill the kids and I got through the day without crying today. Those both count. I've just been like super emotional over silly things, commercials. Like, I don't know what is going on with my hormones, but like, I can't watch a TV program without crying over some part of it. I can't, like, there's commercials that I'm like, oh, that's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I made it through the day without crying today, probably because I didn't turn the TV on.
Well, good. I'm sending you virtual hugs over there.
I don't even know why I'm so emotional. Just like everything seems to be setting me off.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not trying to get in your uterus, but could there be another surprise coming? Like, just wonder.
Highly, highly, highly doubtful.
Charisse is just going to call it out.
It was a thought I had, and believe it or not, like it's a thought I had, but no, I don't think so. It just, I don't know. I guess I'm just extra emotional.
All right. Let's see. Joy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joy Lyle. I am in Lacey, Washington. Let's see, something I'm looking, you'd think I would plan ahead and read these actually before it got to me. I am looking forward to seeing my family who live in Missouri, who have not been out for a couple years now, in June. So that's going to be exciting. And then successes or accomplishments. We're working, we bought a house last fall, so we're getting a garden in, which is kind of exciting, although it's just like a little bit each weekend when I can. So that's mine. I plant some lilacs in it.
Very time consuming. Thanks, Joy. James.
Hello, everyone. My name is James. I'm located currently in Ocean Shores. Something that I look forward to this spring, it would be getting my family out on the beach and exploring a little bit more. Also, for success and accomplishment, I just became a paraeducator at my local school, and I'm working with the local kids now for a little bit.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Erin.
Hello, everyone. My name's Erin Havig, and I live in Ridgefield, Washington, which is in Clark County, down by Portland, Oregon. My daughter says Portland. Something I'm looking forward to this summer. We're big campers as well, and we're going to go to our first national park at Glacier National Park, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And then any successes, my daughter's COVID test was negative, so that feels really successful after a very long day. So I'm grateful for that.
Aw. Thanks, Erin. Dion.
Hi, I am Dion. I live in Silverdale, Washington. This summer, I'm excited about traveling to Maui with our entire family. So we have 5 kids. So all 5 are going from 5 years old up until 16. And my parents are coming with us. So that's going to be fun. And then things that I'm looking forward to or accomplishments. I've got a couple of friends who are my age or older. So like between 45 and 55 who have become foster parents. And I think that's pretty inspiring.
Yay, that's awesome. Good luck in Hawaii.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Emily.
Hello, I'm Emily Morgan. I am on the community engagement team with Deanna and Chelsea, and I'm in Spokane. Something that I'm looking forward to this spring, my mom is coming to visit, so I'm excited for that. She lives in Iowa, so I don't get to see her too often. And we have planted most of our garden inside, so that's my success. Is we've got a lot of little seedlings for some veggies and tomatoes, and I'm excited about that.
Thanks, Emily. Tiffany Yvonne.
Hello, hello, hello. I have to go back and look at the prompt. So I'm Tiffany. My primary home is in Tacoma, but I live in more than, I guess, just Tacoma now due to work. Something I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that I get to do my trip to Denali, which is the national park in Alaska. It has basically been canceled and rescheduled for the past 2 years just due to the pandemic. And so hoping that in the 3rd week of July, all will work out and all will be fine. And the little beloved and I will be hiking in the backcountry. We'll see how that works out. Something that like an accomplishment or success, I am almost finished. So, because I work in community development and I'm always learning, always adding credentials. I absolutely, I love what I do. And so I have qualified to apply for the National Association for Community-Driven Climate Resilience Planners. And so that's been a process that's been over the past year, doing the work for that. And so actually this month is when I got the good news. Actually, it'll be tomorrow where it gets all announced. So that's my big accomplishment.
Congratulations. Lots of people are celebrating you, Tiffany. All right, Christiana.
Hi, I'm Christiana Clinton. I live in Everett. Something I'm looking forward to this spring or summer is, I don't know, going camping. I want to go camping, run away. Successes or accomplishment. I've been going to the gym almost every day for 30 to an hour and a half, and I'm actually enjoying it for the first time ever, because yeah, I never did. So yay me.
Yay. Good job. Keep it up. All right, I think we've gone through all the members. Jenny.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jenny Olmstead. I am in Olympia, and something I'm looking forward to this spring or summer, just the weather, being able to go outside, go hiking, do some adventures with my little toddler. And I think any successes and accomplishments for us would just be staying healthy. I feel like there's been a lot of sick germs going around, and so I feel like we're finally on the upswing. So just holding on to that momentum. Yeah, and that's it for me. Thanks. Deanna, you're up.
Thanks, Jenny. Let's see. I think, did I miss? No, I got everybody.
What about you?
Gosh, let's see. Okay, Pierce County. Looking forward to. I love camping. I miss going camping. We haven't done it in a while. So yes, I'm looking forward to planning a camping trip. I want to steal Dion's actually. I really want to take the whole family to Hawaii. So if you could just like take me with you, that would be awesome. Successes and accomplishments. We are, I guess for my team, we are filling vacancies, which is awesome to finally be able to do that so that we can grow and yeah, meet all of the needs that need to be met. So that is a huge accomplishment for us right now. Let's see. All right. Well, I am going to turn it over to you, Erin or Jenny. I don't know which one of you wants to lead this. Jenny, if you want to do introduction.
Yeah, happy to do whatever works, Erin. I'm happy to introduce Erin and Joy. I think Erin will be the one primarily leading it, and Joy and I will be doing a little bit of backup. So yeah, just to give you all a heads up. So I think as many of you know, I'm on the Strengthening Families Washington team, and that team is broken out into two different big buckets of work, one being home visiting and the other being child abuse and neglect prevention. And then as part of that child abuse and neglect prevention, we have the Strengthen Families Locally project, which is what Joy leads. And Erin oversees both of the child abuse and neglect prevention work and the Strengthen Families Locally. So she leads all of those efforts. And I would say our work in both of those pieces are really focused on parent partnership and cultivating parent leadership, not just within our work, but also within the broader organization as well in places that we touch. And so Erin is going to jump into a little bit about some funding that we have specific to building this arm out more robustly. And you're hearing my toddler now. So I'm going to pass it off to Erin and she'll take it from there.
Thanks, Jenny. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I made just like a couple foundation slides just to get us started, and then created a Jamboard that we can use here so that we can share ideas differently. Let's see if this works. So just a little foundation around the Strengthening Families team and who we are. We are a bit silly as a team. So we have these little emoticons, emoji people that we put on a lot of things. And then each of these little hexagons on the side are buckets of our work, different places that it touches. So we have projects like we manage the Children's Trust Fund for Washington State, various public awareness campaigns, home visiting, Strengthen Families Locally, and our CBCAP work. So I'll just give you a little bit about that. The main purposes on our team is around building awareness to catalyze change in social norms. We build everything we do off of the Strengthening Families Protective Factors framework and building strong families, and doing so with families. So you'll see that throughout a lot of the pieces that we have here. We have some strategies around engaging families and communities to identify and build on strengths. We are research type people, and we like to look at the data and what does it tell us about the community and what's the community story that goes with that. And then implementing a huge range of programs and services, everything from like the highest end evidence-based standards with our home visiting programs to more innovative and community responsive approaches that are designed in our work with like Strengthen Families Locally. Another piece that I just wanted to highlight real quick is I think a few of you are associated with our Strengthen Families Locally project that Joy is leading for us. And so this is a very specific strategy we are implementing in 4 locales around the state. And it's all on there, but we're being very intentional in building partnerships, and then working on these 5 goals. So reducing the rates of child maltreatment, reducing rates of foster care entry, eliminating racial disproportionalities in maltreatment and foster care entry, increasing community resilience, and developing a replicable community-driven prevention model. A lot of this project has been taking data and community stories and individual people's stories within a community locale and identifying what are we learning about why kids are coming into foster care in that community, and then what are the strategies we want to implement to try to prevent that from happening. So a big part of this is really looking at this number 3 of what are those stories about race? Where do we see systemic racism, both in who gets referred and then who ends up in the system and in out-of-home care? And what are those strategies that the community wants to have in place? DCYF has adopted prevention principles that span our whole agency. And I just wanted to put this in here to highlight for you. I see parent voice in all of these, but it's intentionally called out in the informed by voices, of children and families and youth. And then looking at the different components on here about where do we have prevention in the prevention continuum. So I just put a little bit in here about this. This is pretty, a pretty typical slide that we share often when we come here around primary prevention. So these are, most of the work that our team does focuses on primary and secondary prevention. Primary prevention is it's aimed at the whole population to provide that support and education before a problem occurs. So we think everything involving our Strengthening Families framework. We do mailings that go out through Child Profile, which is now Watch Me Grow, and reaches 92% of the state's population. So having those materials about safe sleep, postpartum depression, abusive head trauma. We just finished Unsung Heroes last month. So I know there were many people who were a part of that. And then this next month coming up is Child Abuse Prevention Month in April. Secondary prevention is more targeted. So it's a population or a subgroup where there may be problems to prevent escalation. So services that we have in that category tend to be things like our home visiting services, CBCAP funded services, and parenting support. And then tertiary is after maltreatment has occurred. And so these are families that are typically involved in the child welfare system, and our services haven't touched on that until we got to Strengthen Families locally. And now we have some more opportunities for crossover. So just to give you kind of the idea of the scope of where we're talking about here. So we have an opportunity on our team. We have historically used, it's a framework designed by the Center for the Study of Social Policy called Ripples of Transformation. And I'll pull that up here in just a second. In it, what we are asking programs that we fund to do is to look at how are they valuing parent leadership. And then at the systems level, we're also looking at how are we valuing and including parent leadership and where do we want to go. I know Laura, our team administrator, came to this group when we had the ARPA funding. And so now we're working on mobilizing those American Rescue Plan Act dollars that were set aside in our CBCAP funding. And we set aside money to be able to invest in the expansion of parent leadership, and really wanting to do that intentionally with our team and partner with parents in designing what that could look like. So I put up a Jamboard here. So I'm gonna stop sharing this and then pull that up and put the link in the chat. Maybe. That's too many things for my brain to do at one time. Okay. Let's see if I did it right. I've actually never done a Jamboard. I've always participated in them, but never created one until today. So I was like, oh, I hope this works. So what I have on here is just 3 slides. We really wanted to invite conversation here with you today. And this first one is just about the ripples of transformation. You're welcome to add any comments you may have about what this feels like for you. So when we work with programs and when we're evaluating ourselves, what we're looking at is like, what level do we see most of our parent leaders at, and how do we want to build the next step? So it's pretty common in most programs to see parents as the first teacher and value that. And that's the first step towards parent leadership, according to this tool. And then how do we build areas across all of these levels so that we get true family engagement in all of our programs? So it looks like I got lots of animal friends here, penguins, and I don't know what an ilfrid is. Gotta look that one up. And a fox. So I'm going to move into the second slide and invite you to share out loud via little sticky notes, or if you put it in the chat, we can put this in there. But to start us off, when you think about your journey as a parent, leader, and advocate, what helped you along the way? And I put some buckets, but feel free to put your ideas and thoughts in there.
Hey, Erin.
Yes.
You're going to need to change the permissions on this in order for us to edit it. And you can do that by clicking on the share button.
Okay.
And then you should get, yep, this will come up down.
Nope.
Oh, go back. Go down to change at the bottom.
Change.
And then anyone with the link, you go over to editor.
Got it. Thank you so much.
And then everyone will need to refresh your web browser if you're already in here. And then you will have those editing tools on the side. And that fourth one down is a sticky note, which you can grab and type into and then place somewhere.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I wasn't prepared for this, and I'm kind of on my phone, and sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to on my phone. So like, I want to be engaged. Would I be able to get support, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And to help me.
Yes. Yes. So you can either share like your thoughts out loud and we'll type them in there for you, or I'll be leaving this up because I know my brain works where sometimes I want to see the questions for a little bit and then I remember something later when I'm like cooking or doing the dishes and I want to add that in. Joy's willing to help type into the jam board for folks as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So I can just speak out loud or?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Joy, are you ready or should I wait until you're ready to speak out loud?
She gave me thumbs up.
Oh, okay. So I would say under supports was like my family support advocate or worker from Head Start ECAB. I would say also support were my kids, because like I was in a domestic violence relationship and didn't even look at it that way because I was preconditioned. But it was my daughter that kind of pushed back to let me know who it was or what it was, I guess I would say. Resources. The thing is, resources are there. Well, I don't know if this is under resource or support. It also helps you if it's a person that comes from non-judgment, right? Like, so it was someone who also was in a similar situation as me. So like also like that peer-to-peer type, you know, not someone that has sympathy, but empathy, because they also navigated the same things. And then I was willing to hear what other resources were out in the community, right? So like there's lovely YMCA domestic violence counsel that kind of, you know, helped you along the way. But if it wouldn't have been from someone from non-judgment, I don't think I would have took it. And then another resource was understanding that my kids wouldn't be taken away because of the situation that I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know, like my internal strength was just having faith after I came from non-judgment with those other resources. to know, like, ultimately I was putting my kids up on a better foundation. So I guess just having faith in that. But I think a lot of times we don't know anything different than what we were preconceived to. And I think also being a kid that also was in foster care, like that was my biggest fear, that someone would take my kids away. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm writing handwritten notes because I hear things better if I write them. So if you're wondering what's the long pauses here. I see some resources in here that people are adding in. Under internal strengths, someone put in being willing to hear what resources are in the community. I'm seeing lots of connections with, in terms of support, from everything from my kids, my daughter, to connecting with parents and caregivers and preschool staff, Head Start and ECAP staff.
This is Lupe.
Hi, Lupe.
One of the biggest other ones that I didn't write in the chat, and I apologize because I'm multitasking and feeding my kids.
Yeah.
Because we're always on the run. Anyhow, the when I started on my advocacy journey, not only did I have the support of my family advocate, there was also a family engagement coordinator who focused on the families, and not every site has these. And I think this is crucial to have one person dedicated for family engagement, because when you wear multiple hats, it gets extremely rough. And I say that coming from, I'm a family support specialist now in the ECAP program. And so this year's been an amazing year, and I've made amazing connections because my caseload is only 23. On a typical year, on a normal non-COVID year, I have a caseload of 40, and it gets difficult to manage all the needs of those 40 families. So, going back, I think that is one of the crucial things, is making sure that you guys budget in one specific person for family, a family coordinator, family engagement, whatever you want to title it. But once she got me hooked and I started going to the policy council, the friendships that I made and the other moms that were already involved, and I don't even know how they got involved, they roped me in as well. And we're like, you're really good, you're a natural. And, they slowly started peeling my onion layers back. And so I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. It sounds like I'm hearing some of the affirmations that they also provided help build some confidence, is one of the things I'm wondering if that's part of your story as well.
I want to piggyback off of that, though, because of the fact that I think for me, why it was beneficial was because of the fact that they were people who were once in my shoes. So like, I think naturally we set the bar kind of low for ourselves if we don't see it could get better. And because of the fact that she, set that tone for me, like, I don't know, like, it was transformational to my whole family. I'm the first out of my family that no longer receives, benefits. I didn't think that would ever be possible, right? Like, I'm also tell you it was scary though, right? Because I never realized on how much of not a handicap, but how much that was like my plan B if things failed. So yeah, I don't know. Like it took from, like I said, someone who navigated the system, someone who had been there, had been once in my shoes, that was effective. And I don't feel like that's something, and I know like with some of these state jobs, like you have to have like bachelor's or associates or whatever, but you can't train like how to make a connection. You can't train how to be genuine. Like there's certain things that they can't learn. But I also think that that's what helps me be effective in what I do, right? Because of the fact that I was once there.
Absolutely. And I don't know who shared that, but thank you.
Sorry, that was Charisse. I didn't
Hi,
introduce
Charisse.
myself. I was like, wait, but wait.
I appreciate that. And I know that's something like our team has been paying close attention to on our open job opportunities is, does it have to be full-time? Does it have to require a certain degree, or can lived experience fit into that experience and credentialing? So in my mind, I'm also interpreting that as well as like, how do we open these positions?
Yeah, because that's the one thing. Like, I don't have a doctorate or all those masters or other things that you're looking at. But what I do have a doctorate that is forever growing in my community, right? Yeah. Like, I know that. And I think that sometimes you need some of those who have utilized those systems to be able to help you call out some of those cracks and those flaws. Because I think that we have the best intentions, but the impact sometimes is different, especially when it's up to someone else's interpretation on what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yes, exactly. Lived experience. Yes, I'll know. Yes, thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah.
And I just say that because it's something that I actually utilize in building teams. Experience. So one of the ways in how I have my assessments is I have a rubric, right, for candidates. So I write up the, job description, basically utilizing my team's input. But in that rubric, lived experiences is one of the factors that I'm actually looking for in my candidates. In addition to that, it's also weighted differently. And so I think it's something that absolutely can be included. The other thing that I include in there besides lived experiences, also including people who've had long-term experience. And I mean experience in the sense of that doesn't tend to fall kind of in that formal learning, but maybe it's been in the informal space of interacting with specific communities that we have prioritized, right? Yep. So sometimes they might not have had the lived experience, but they've had that relationship within these prioritized communities. And so how do we make sure that that is accounted for too? Because that's something you can't go to, you're not going to go to some university or some formal program and be able to absorb the same learnings in a way. Is because you've been in a relationship with these folks in their space, it's a place-based relationship. So I'm like a huge yes to that.
Thank you. Okay. I'm seeing the sticky notes slow a little bit. I just want to give a little space. Yes.
Hi, this is Christiana.
Hello.
Hi. One of the things that I'm taxi right now. So my daughter had a Girl Scout meeting, and now she's at youth group. But one of the things that really kept me engaged in doing the work that I do is how people were so understanding and accepting that there's going to be times that my child had to come with me. Yeah. And them not making me feel like I'm a bad parent because I couldn't find childcare or I had to bring my kid, and them not saying they're going to be bored out of their minds, and allowing me and giving me that room to be a parent and know how to plan for those things. Because sometimes childcare is just not available to some people because we either make too much or not enough. And and having faith that I can be be a responsible parent instead of putting me down. That was one of the things that really keeps me going.
Thank you. I feel like our teams learned a lot about that during COVID. Yeah, just thinking about job interviews with our kids climbing on us and looking at Joy. But yeah, that's just how the world is right now. I think it's opened up a lot more compassion. One of our parent leaders told me that she loves seeing it when my kids ask me questions in the middle of me talking, because it makes her feel like it's a very normal experience. Okay, I'm gonna flip this slide over to our next one here. Oops, maybe. There we go. So on this one of our main focus on our team right now with this funding opportunity is we want to grow our partnership with parents and enhance opportunities. So thinking about the type of work that we do, what opportunities would you like to see, or what advice do you have for us? And I put one example on there just to give you a little space to think. We had a parent leader who went through the Bringing the Protective Factors to Life training a number of years ago with Jenny, and then has been sharing that training in her community. And so one of our ideas was around, do we expand that training opportunity, customize it to our communities, and then have more parents that can offer that training? Or are there other things that you as the parent advisory committee would like to see, or advice you would like to give?
Are we supposed to be doing this ourselves, or can we just tell you what we were going to say?
You can do either one, whichever you would like.
Okay, pay the parents for their time. They're taking time out of their day. They're taking, all their knowledge and bringing it to you. Compensate them fairly.
Thank you. When you say compensate fairly, what is that to you? We heard everything from when we were looking at an opportunity from $5 to $13 to $50. Like, the scope was really wide.
I was going to say, set some sort of an hourly wage. I'm not sure what, or set some sort of an overall, because you participated, this is how much you get, as long as it's not like a 12-hour long thing. But I'm not sure exactly what the amount would be. I just know that right now I participate in a lot of things that I'm taking time out of my day, and I'm using my expertise and my past trauma and all these things, and I'm bringing it to the table and not getting any compensation out of using all that. So it's, I'm volunteering this, and that's fine sometimes, but it seems like, a lot of these groups want people with this lived experience of being in poverty, or having dealings with certain agencies and this and that, but we're not allowed to be compensated for it. And that just seems kind of unfair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much. And I see from the sticky notes, you are not alone in that opinion. I see a few others that are along that vein.
Hi, this is Nikki. I have a question. Sorry, I've missed a couple of meetings. And so I guess I'm not really sure, like, do you have examples? Because I kind of saw, what your purpose is, but I don't really know specifics of what you guys do. So do you have examples?
Yes, yeah. And I would ask team members to step in too, so you're not just hearing from me, but some of the most transformative experiences for parents have been parents participating in like all of our reviews, whether it's for new employees, so helping select who those employees are going to be on our team, or funding reviews for our funding opportunities as they open, so that we get parent insight into which programs make sense that parents would care about and be passionate about. So that's some examples. Joy or Jenny, any other examples that you would highlight?
I would say community cafes is an example that we have parent leadership in. So that would be, an option of something that we could support statewide. The bringing the protective factors to life training is another example. It's a great training and it really sticks when it's provided by a parent leader. So that would be example of, like, it says hire parents as contractors, like contracting them to lead that. The kind of similar, like the Sense Maker, which a couple of you are also signed up to collect stories from families and share that with DCYF. So those are some examples of things we've done in the past. And if any of those ring true and you'd like to say, yes, do more of this, that'd be awesome too.
Hi, I had, there was a chat response from you, Joy, about what kind of presentations, trainings, or capacity building of parent leadership. So I just wanted to answer that. What I was thinking of is like pointing parents in directions outside this whole scope, like boards for like opportunity council or the community actions groups, showing parents that there are other ways that they can be involved in their communities that give them opportunities to grow and to be hands-on. I know I wouldn't have known about, how certain groups are required to have people with lived experiences on their boards, but don't, because no one knows that they can apply. They think that in order to be a board member, you have to be affluent and that you have to be basically a white rich man, kind of thing. When actually you don't have to do those kinds of, you don't have to meet that kind of demographic. It's very much wrapped around what you can bring to the table because you have used or utilized tools that they offer to the community.
That's really important. Yeah, I see the one on here about the creating your own pipeline for leadership development through programs. One of the thoughts that I had of bringing this question here to the parent advisory group was you get to see a wide range of our agency and that there are many different opportunities across different teams. So I think that you have unique insight and expertise into what are those connections we should be making across our agency. Any things that have felt really good to you to participate in?
Can you reframe that question? I'm not quite sure I totally caught what you're asking. If you could reframe it, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, and this is one of my bad habits, so I apologize if like I keep asking more questions. So if there's any opportunities that you have seen or been a part of that have been really wonderful to be a part of, either in our agency or external, but are there things that we could be doing along those lines that you'd like to see our agency do more of?
So I was part of Opportunities Board of Directors, and sadly I had to leave that board because I moved out of their service area. But one of the things that I wouldn't say groom because it just sounds like a bad word to use, but one of the things that they were trying to do was show me that I could be, you know, like a board president, even though I'm only there for my lived experiences. And they made me feel like they gave me that kind of a confidence, like I could, you know, run a meeting, and they gave me opportunities to utilize skills that I learned in parent ambassadors and in WASA's and in ECAP and Head Start, you know, parent policy groups, you know.
That's great. These are great examples on here. I'm seeing like a variety of ideas from everything from different trainings and kind of building that scaffolding for parent leaders to keep growing, increasing those opportunities to hiring parents as contractors and paying them for their time in those areas as well. I'm curious, I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but one of the stickies on here in orange says, give opportunities to engage in presentations and showing those lived experiences. And I know this is something our team has talked about over the years. It hasn't come up recently, but I'm curious about your thoughts about that in particular. How does it feel to be put in a place of sharing your lived experience versus does that feel like if somebody was asking me to share my lived experience, I think my default would be I didn't want to be there. I don't know. It's not their story to hear. So I'm just curious about how that resonates for folks.
I'm the one that wrote that note. Sorry, I keep talking.
Please talk.
I'm talking about like WASA gave Charisse and I the opportunity to, you know, have a workshop class that we created for ourselves, you know, together as a team. In fact, I turned it in with my college class and we got an A on it.
Awesome.
I'm really proud of that. But giving us those opportunities where we can pull together a presentation to give in front of someone if we're comfortable, you know, kind of thing. The Poverty Reduction Steering Committee, they often send us who want to talk to places where we can share those lived experiences. Again, it's one of those things where, you know, our stories can be more impactful to those that are creating and doing the service if it came from us directly instead of from Billy, who heard it from Sally, who heard it from Mima, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. That helps a lot. In my mind, I immediately went to some of those stories are traumatic that people have lived through, and I think they're really important to share. But who has the right to hear your story, and having some element of choice and power in when you share and how. And yeah, I just want us to be cautious of some of those pieces and do that in a way that's supportive of all of our parent leaders. I really like this one here about the grants for parent caretaker led initiatives in their local communities. Like, that's pretty cool. I could think of a million ideas that we've heard from parents. That would be great to highlight there. We also have parent leaders who participate on the national level. So they start with our team, and then there's opportunities for us to recommend parents to like national boards and things like that. So in my mind, I'm putting that kind of in that bucket of creating a pipeline of leadership development, opening up new opportunities. But I'm curious if you see that the same way. When I see Whitney's comment here in the chat about sharing stories as well. Thank you.
I have a different comment. And so I guess it's been more than a few years ago in Pierce County, I began this community-wide effort to recognize parents / caretakers for just examples of living out the protective factors. And that's something I'd be curious to see at the state level, because I think for me, when I think about the protective factors, to me, there's a cultural dynamic that has to be a part of that work. And so what does it mean to really embed that when we're thinking about what is valued, when we're thinking about even beliefs that a community holds, when we're thinking about practices to celebrate it, when we think about who would be your heroes and sheroes. And oftentimes when you think about that, parents and caretakers are not who comes to mind for folks. And so that's something that I'm always really big about changing that. And so how can we even create something, as I said, that is about recognizing parents and caretakers and celebrating, you know, when they are living, practicing, you know, being responsible for a human 7 days a week, it's huge. And the fact that we live in a society that thinks one or two people are supposed to be able to raise this whole human and be these super, like, that's outrageous and ridiculous by itself, in my personal opinion. It really does take a community. But I think part of that is starting to celebrate and uplift and really visualize. You know, it's like, hey, I see that you're doing that. That is so awesome. And creating that narrative around that. So that's just something sitting in my thoughts.
I really like that. And maybe because Parent Recognition Month is in the not so distant past, it's fresh in my heart right now of like all those stories that we got to hear of parents and caregivers across our state who are doing a tremendous job. And it's exhausting to try to do any aspect of parenting all alone. We need each other in order to be successful in this. So there's always that side of the stories of like, wow, they're doing each of these parents is doing so much, and how do we support so they don't have to carry so much. I had Deanna and folks, I didn't, I don't know where we are in terms of time. I just got very into the conversation. So if you need us to stop, please let me know. I see Whitney's also enjoys the stories. There are some of these, I think the other piece I would share, I'm going to stop my screen share real quick. 1 second. So you're forward. Yeah, we'll give you a back in just a second. Okay. Thank you. She's ready for bath and bed. So we do have a few opportunities that are coming up where we have open funding opportunities. So we're always looking for parents to be reviewers and help us select who those funded programs would be. And I can send the reviewer announcement. I think, Charisse, I think you're already signed up, if I saw that correctly. And then we have our team will review the contributions that you've made and see how we can move forward on a plan to actualize some of these. And I would love to be able to come back and share opportunities as they arise. Dory or Jenny, is there anything I left out that you were hoping we would get to?
I don't think so, Erin. That was great. Thank you. And thank you everyone so much for all your thoughts and perspectives. It's really helpful for us to hear. And I just wanted to also mention that we're available also outside of this meeting too. So if something comes to you at a later time and you want to email us or connect with us by phone or text or whatever is easiest for you all, please feel free to do that if something comes up.
Well, thank you, Erin and Joy and Jenny.
Yes, thanks for letting us be here and sharing all these pieces of wisdom.
All right, so Chelsea, can you go to the next slide? I know we had a couple things before we wrap up that we wanted to ask you. The first one, I know you already received, we put it in some of our emails, just the newsletter that's coming out about the Fair Start for Kids Act. It's going to be a monthly newsletter, and you could click on that link and sign up to receive those emails every time they go out. So if you have not received that, look, we have been including it in every single email we send to you all. So if you haven't received it, let us know and we'll send it out to you, just that part of it, so that you can get that email on its own and click the link and sign up if you would like to. But one of the things with the Fair Starts for Kids Act, so our communication shop has been asking parents and families and childcare providers if they have benefited positively or been impacted positively by the Fair Starts for Kids Act already. And if so, they would love to interview you and possibly post and share your story, their interview, in this newsletter. So if anyone is interested, you can either let us know here or you can email us, myself, Jenny, or community engagement, and let us know, and we can definitely reach out to you and set that up for you. So we wanted to share that. And then we have a quick ask. So in the chat, Chelsea's going to put a link to participate in the Mentimeter. So we just want to gauge where you're at, like how interested are you in meeting in person for the July meeting? So if you could select yes, highly interested, maybe I'm interested, or no, not interested at all. That would be awesome. I see your response, Christiana. Thanks, James.
I just miss everybody. I don't get the same satisfaction with phone, like Zoom conferences anymore that I used to 2.5 years ago. I feel like I can engage better if I'm with people. That's why I've been very careful with my body. So I'm like, I'll wear my mask. I'll do whatever you ask me to. Just let me see your pretty faces.
Yeah. Alina, no, it is not mandatory, and the mask mandate was lifted. So we've been given authority to start planning and preparing for meetings in person. I know the last time we had this conversation, I think it was the fall, there was a lot of interest with you all. And so you are the first group we're actually coming to and asking this question. So we wanted to kick it off with you first, if you guys are interested. We'll put this out there in the email as well. Yeah, I know, Alina, some are still requiring it.
So I'm interested. It just depends on when you guys do it in July. So like, you know, we got to juggle other things because my kid isn't in school. So like, so I'm interested. I'm just wondering like how much time you would give in order for us to know, in order for me to plan. Yeah.
If we were going to do it, Charisse, we would be setting this up now and confirming a date so that everyone would have a lot more notice, because I'm in the same boat. I definitely need notice with my kiddos and making sure that I'm planning around that. And then what day of the week works best. You know, we would be running that by all of you to see what's going to work. Is it, you know, before it was like on a weekend or on a Friday? Sometimes it's been middle of the week. So it really just depends. We just kind of wanted to gauge where the interest was first before starting this conversation, because if there is enough yes, which it looks like there's a lot of yeses, we can definitely put that out there, and we'll do a more formalized ask and send out some possible dates. Kind of go from there and see what we get back. Does that sound good?
Yes, I had a quick question. So on the dates, would we have at least like a 2 months notice beforehand, or?
Well, I would hope to, honestly, I would hope to confirm it in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because yeah, it's easier for us to start planning and to get people like presenters to come meet with you all in person and get feedback, because it's not just going to be us hanging out with you like talking. I mean, yes, we're going to talk, but we really want presenters to come engage and interact, and gather needed feedback. So, okay, cool. So thank you for adding some dates in the chat, Alina and James. James, I'm assuming July 28th is a yes. And then Alina, you said no for 17th through 23rd. So, all right.
I was just picking a day.
Oh, you're just randomly throwing one out there?
Yeah, I was just randomly just darting a dark corner and just popping one out.
Well, thank you. We will add that to our poll for sure. All right. Okay, so we'll send something out then, to gather feedback from people that were unable to attend tonight and kind of get the planning going. Because again, like I said, I really want to confirm yes or no and a day in April so that it's ready to go. All right, so does anyone have any comments, questions they'd like to share before we wrap up and do our little, how you guys thought today's meeting went?
Thank you for filling my cup.
Aw, you're welcome. I know it's not just directed at me, but I'll take it. All right, well, we'll go on to the next question, see what you guys thought about tonight, if it was productive for you. Appreciate you all attending, and I look forward to these meetings. It says my internet's unstable, so hopefully you're hearing me, because I know every time we have this, for some reason I break up. As I was saying, so I appreciate these meetings. Definitely fills my cup up because I miss all of you as well, and I cannot wait to meet back in person with so many people. This has been really tough for the last few years, not just for me, for my kiddos, everyone. So I appreciate you for attending, and definitely feel free to connect if you have any questions. All right, if nobody has anything else, then you are free to go and have a good rest of your evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Tiffany. Bye, thank you.